Can we create an audiovisual short with a story that engages and can be posted on any platform in under $1? What tools do we need? And how long should it be? According to the latest rumors from YouTube, a short should be about 5 to 8 seconds. If we are showing one image for a second, we need about 5 to 8 images to tell the entire story. 1 second an image is maybe a bit too long if we want some pacing. But with some effects, like going from black and white to color, or zooming in, zooming out, it should be okay. I already have a story in mind for this example. It has a beginning, it has a crash, with some after effects of that crash, and then the hero enters, and after that we go back to the safety state, but a bit more wiser. I'm aiming for 8-second stories, so I'm going to make 8 images. I will do 2 before, 1 crash, 2 effects of the crash, 1 hero shot, and ending in 2 return to safety shots. This concludes my story arc. So your image distribution will depend a bit about your story arc and how many images you have to tell it. And also what emphasis you would like to put on each section in your story. Then, where do we get the images from? A good thing about generative AI of today is that there are no copyright on those images. We can generate images and use them as we wish. So I say, use the generative image generation services that are available to us. I, for myself, will be using OpenAI's DALL-E 3. And that's just because I have integrated it into my terminal window on my laptop. So it's convenient for me. I'm using OI for this. But there are many other options. So let's see how I do one image. In a terminal window, I say OI-C-D1-S and the format 19-16, and then the prompt describing what I want to have. Imagine and so on. And then I will send this off to OpenAI, which will generate the image for me. And the new image will be presented in my terminal window as a link. And that link I can open up in a browser window, which shows me the actual image. If I like it, I can just download it to my local computer and continue working. Otherwise, I can alter the prompt and do another try. One thing I can say about DALL-E 3 is that I usually give it quite small prompts, and returned in the answer is the actual prompt that OpenAI has made for me. It usually puts in quite a lot of details into my prompts and extends them a bit. But those return prompts are good to have when you're trying to work a somewhat consistent visual style into your images. And I can do that with UI. So that was the generation of the first image, and the rest is just 7 more repetitions of variations of the prompt for whatever generation service you are using. Now, what about music? What music can be used of many platforms? The inspiration for this way of working came from the Instagram Reel templates. But the music that Instagram has can only be used on Instagram. And I would like to have something that works for any platform. So there are two ways to do this. Either buying a license for 8 seconds of music, or you find some free source. On my part, I've chosen to go with Senpai Records or Harris Heller's radio company. They can be downloaded for free and they can be used for free for these kind of purposes as well. So I will use a clip from Senpai Records and you can find your own music in these different ways. All in all, I would like to have music that has a tempo with 1 second. If that's double tempo or not, doesn't really matter, as long as we can align the images or image switches with the actual music, so we have tempo alignment. So in this case, I want the tempo to be 1 beat a second, just to align with switching images once a second. And now we are ready to start piecing stuff together. I will use my normal video editor, the one I've used on this video as well. As I am using Linux, I'm using a free editor called Shotcut. I think it's available for more platforms as well. Now, any kind of editor will do, how extreme or simple it even is. This is kind of basic stuff we're doing. Also, CapCut will do on a mobile phone. I usually start off by importing my music and the images to the tool. I then place the music on the timeline. And after that, the images are inserted one by one and adjusted to the beat of the music, so 1 second apiece. When all 8 images are in, I do the effects, which in this one is a switch from black and white to color. I do this by using a filter on half the image, so half a second off, half a second on. It is nice to be able to copy and paste those filters of effects from frame to frame to image. It makes the work much faster. Then, when the effects are done, it's just to export it and view the result. Now, the project file for this video can be used as a template for the next one you do. And this is especially true if you have another piece of music with the same tempo. In that case, you can both switch music and images. And this is the place where you really can speed things up and produce a lot more shorts. A pro tip, if you are a hacker, the project files of Shotcut are basically XML ones. So they can be imported into Python and rewritten. So exchanging images or exchanging filters can be done with a bit of a code. And that speeds things up very much. Finally, just a few words about the cost. For me, using free music, all costs come from generating the images and I'd use DALL-E 3 through the OpenAI API. This means that each image generation of this size will cost 8 cents. So 8 images makes 64 cents for this kind of video. If you can generate images for free, then it's all free for you. Congratulations! If you would like to know more on how to generate images using DALL-E 3 in Terminal and using the OpenAI API, see the suggested video. Click it and I will see you in there in just a second.